The Native American Experience. This video is part of the final settlement of the West Unit. In it, we will explore and examine the experiences of Native Americans in the settlement process. The land for settlement in the West was not vacant land. It was inhabited by the natives. Native Americans were constantly forced to relocate in reservations. Legal treaties were never respected, and claims to their ancestral land were blatantly disregarded. Tribes were forced onto reservations, which were often dry and undesirable lands. Federal Indian agents provided some services like schools, but government agents often did not keep their promises. As many white settlers went out west, they had cultural clashes with the Native Americans. White settlers believed in private property, while natives believed that one cannot own the land. Many natives were nomads that did not claim property, lived off hunting, and had no experience with agriculture. Take a look at this map showing Native American lands. Notice as time goes by, the amount of land available to natives was reduced. By the 1890s, most Native Americans were living in reservations. The Indian Wars. The Sand Creek Massacre. In 1864, Colonel John Chivington's troops attacked and destroyed a village of Cheyenne and Arapaho people in southeastern Colorado, killing and mutilating an estimated 230 Native Americans, about two-thirds of whom were women and children. The Indian Wars, 1864 to 1890. When gold was discovered in the Black Hills of South Dakota, an area sacred to the Sioux Indians, they were asked to move out. Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse inspired a resistance movement. In 1876, Sioux men surrounded and defeated Colonel Custer and his troops at Little Bighorn. In 1877, Crazy Horse surrendered and was killed in captivity. In 1881, Sitting Bull surrendered. In 1890, the Sioux on the reservation began the Ghost Dance, believing that the Great Spirit was about to return control of the Great Plains to them and restore the buffalo. Fearing another Sioux rebellion, the U.S. Army troops massacred 200 natives from the Sioux Nation, including women and children. The massacre at Wounded Knee marked the end of the so-called Indian Wars. Americanization. Some reformers urged Indians to become Americanized. They wanted Indians to become part of the mainstream society and adopt American ways and values. These reformers did not fully appreciate their culture and disregarded the survival of the native traditions. The Dawes Act, 1887. Congress passed the Dawes Act to Americanize the Indians. Each male Indian was allowed to claim 160 acres of reservation land as his private property. Those who claimed their own land were rewarded with U.S. citizenship and the right to vote. Assimilation into American society in many cases meant the destruction of tribal ways. The federal government failed to provide the assistance promised to the Indians. Education was inferior in reservations, and there was no proper medical care. Most Indians who received their land ended up selling their land since they had no experience with agriculture. The government sold all the land remaining after distributing reservations. In 1889, the territory of Oklahoma was opened for settlement. Many settlers rushed to claim lands. The Indian Territory was incorporated, and its autonomy extinguished forever. Oklahoma became a state in 1907.